Good afternoon, everyone. It's Lynda here from Banjo's Beat House with our weekly Facebook Live project. And this week it's all about repurposing bits and pieces, as well as playing around with something for Halloween, which is just around the corner. So I'm going to tip you guys down and we will take a look at what I'm playing with today. Whoops. First I've got to pick the right camera. Okay, so today we are playing with memory wire. So often we use this to make cuffs and things. I'm just going to move my mat. Sorry, I'm also going to zoom out a little bit. It's still on the intense view from last week. Oi, there we are. So memory wire we use quite a bit to make really fun bracelets with kids. We have fun playing with gravity. All sorts of fun can be had. But we often wind up with little offcuts like this, which aren't great for making bracelets unless you really want to put a lobster clasp on it, which kind of defeats the point of playing with memory wire. So what I've started doing instead is playing around with making even length offcuts, which I have two here in two different sizes, and we're actually going to turn them into floating earrings. So it's something a little bit different and a great way of using up some leftover materials rather than just having them sitting around or not going to use. Okay, so the process of working with these is exactly the same as if we're working with memory wire. Get an old pair of round nose pliers. You don't want to use your good ones because it's tempered stainless steel. It will start to distort your tip. And we're just going to do a gentle round or just go just past. Okay, so we've got one on the tip there and I'm going to make the second one at the same time. Sorry, just concentrating whilst I'm doing this. So we've got two slightly different loops. My thing would have been to mark this so I get them all the same. But this is the fun of handmade, and it's been a long day of unpacking a huge delivery which came a few days early, which is awesome because it had the last of our Advent supplies. So we are now madly continuing to pack Advent boxes, but we can now actually finish all of the Advent boxes off. So looking forward to a busy week ahead of measuring lots and lots and lots of beads. So we've got our 4 loops preset, and as I said in the intro, we are playing around with Halloween colors. So I've got some Miyuki Hematite, which is color 451, and some of the opaque orange, which is 406. Also beads that I have left over from different projects, and I'm literally just going to have fun treating this as a needle. And I'm just going to do a 1-1 pattern because my brain seriously cannot cope with much more today. It's been a crazy, crazy, crazy day. We might get more adventurous on the next one. But the idea is just to start filling up your curve, keeping a pattern. Oops, see, already broke the pattern there. This is what I get for talking. So it was orange, black, orange, black. Okay. Okay, orange, black. Hi Kelly, thank you for joining us this afternoon. Okay, orange, black. Okay, I might finish that one off there so you can see the little arc we've got going, and I will pick up, so that was the big arc, I'm going to pick up the little arc, and for the little one maybe we'll do a run of 3, make it slightly different. This of course is me just having a little bit of fun, but this is also a great way if you've got leftover seed beads or if you've been playing around with our Delica stashes. You could easily thread on, little Delica runs, have a little bit of fun creating different colored earrings, and put your leftover memory wire to some good use. Okay, so I might leave that one there I don't think I could get, well, we might see if I can get 3 more on. This is one area where I like asymmetry. 2 and 3. Okay, so I've got a little bit of room left there to do a turn. So this time I'm going to tie it at the very tip of my pliers and get a tighter turn. A little hard to control because my pliers have separated up there. Okay, so I've got my big loop, which I'm going to use at the top, and a tiny little loop just to end it off. I don't have any Halloween charms in stock. I did have a different idea of how I was going to end it, but we sold all the beads this week. But you can dangle a charm off there, or I could use a head pin and create a little dangle. We might just add a few more here. But the idea of this is just to give you an idea of a way of having some fun, creating shapes with an unusual material. And it's a fun way to get the kids involved. If they have made a memory wire piece, you could easily turn this into a dangly pendant, or do it as I'm doing and turning them into earrings. So a little bit of fun. So we've got our little loop there. So we've got our 2 pieces. So now I'm just going to turn that into an earring. So to do that, sorry, tools are competing with microphone for space. I'm just going to grab, I've just got a 6mm jump ring here. So I'm just opening that up. I'm going to thread you one way. This guy, we might go the opposite direction if I can get that to work. Yep. Thread on an ear hook, which we might do in that direction. So with one jump ring, that one's going to face forward and slide back. I could grab a pair of pliers and twist that the other way, or add another jump ring in, but I'm kind of having fun with that just being that and being light and dangly. So as I said, a little bit of fun. You could do some work to make them sit that way. Mine are going to wind up sitting that way. But yeah, a little bit of fun. It's an easy way of using some offcuts that you might have lying around from your memory wire and turning them into a fun, different kind of spike dangle. I can imagine creating a whole pile of these and creating an almost like tassel effect. But again, having a little fun dropping either a charm or a bead off there would also work. So yeah, hopefully that inspires you guys to have some fun with some of your offcuts rather than just always throwing them away, and having a play around and trying something a little bit different. I've got to make the other one and then I get to head home. I will be back next Friday with another round of Facebook Live. I will see you guys then. Have a fun, safe, creative weekend. Bye for now.